All right, welcome back. It is the Vegas Take, Sharp and Shapiro, brought to you by the Wager Fund. Glad you could join us. Our thanks to Norman Chad for taking a couple minutes to preview the World Series of Poker. By the way, if you want to check that out, completely free. Go to the Rio, check it out, mingle with Phil Ivey and Phil Helmuth, and have some fun. Hopefully you don't get a chair thrown at you by anybody like Phil. Hopefully. I don't know.
You know, he's right about those German players. I've sat down against those guys at 5'10" at the Aria, and these guys, I've played against one guy. He played about 6 total hands in 2 hours. I saw his cards one time, and he was up $2,000. Didn't say a word to anybody. I was covered in tattoos.
See, but those are the kind of guys that are bad for poker.
Oh, terrible.
No personality. Just sit there. Don't say a word. No, thank you.
It's almost like they're savants who are antisocial.
You're probably right. NBA score update for you. Let me give it to you. The Celtics were up 10 a few moments ago. Now all of a sudden it's a 2-point game. The score 39-37 with 1:45 left to go in the second half. So this is a tight one, JD. But we kind of expected that. You know, we expected this game to be tight and close. LeBron has 17 points. He's 6 for 12 from the field. So pretty good start for LeBron. And if let's be honest here, if Cleveland wants any chance to win this game, LeBron has to be LeBron. He has to be the king. He has to be fantastic.
How many turnovers does he have?
I'm looking at he has 2 turnovers. So
Okay,
LeBron has 2 turnovers right now, 6 for 12 from the field. The guy we have on the line right now, I think he knows a thing or two about basketball. Former coach here at UNLV. He did such a phenomenal job here, and he continues to do a phenomenal job wherever he goes. Raising money for cancer research, too. Coaches versus Cancer was just in town this week. And Lon Kruger is just incredible with everything he puts his mind to it and really saving lives and hoping to get a cure for this horrible disease. And Lon Kruger right now, the head coach of Oklahoma, joins us on the KDWN hotline. Coach, thanks so much for joining us. How are you?
I'm doing well. Appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Coach. I wanted to first start out by saying congratulations on another fantastic year for Coaches versus Cancer. We're so grateful that you bring it here to Las Vegas. Do you have any idea how much money you guys were actually able to raise in the last week?
I haven't heard a specific number. We know it's above $1 million net. So
wow.
Again, it's a great weekend. Again, Scott Sabella at the MGM Grand and Kelby Krabbenhoff with Sanford Health and Derek Thompson with MedGen Cattle Company. Just so many good partners, so many good participants. Obviously, everyone has a good time, but they don't lose sight of the fact that we're there to raise dollars and put that toward research, put that toward awareness, and hopefully keep finding cures.
When you started this, Coach, years ago, did you ever imagine it would become as big as it is today? I mean, you look all over the place. There's Roy Williams. You look to your right. It's another Hall of Fame coach, and all these coaches that come together, including yourself, to make this possible. Did you ever think that it'd become this big?
Never could have imagined. Anytime you raise a weekend time over $1 million to contribute, you really can't expect that. But it happened because, like you say, Roy Williams, Dana Altman, Tim Miles, Frank Martin, Bruce Weber. You go down the list a long way, and it's just amazing, how committed they are. And coaches throughout the country do different things in raising dollars, raising awareness. And as you know, since '91, when Norm Stewart was diagnosed with, as a result of his diagnosis with cancer, over $110 million raised by coaches around the country.
Wow, it's just so incredible what you're doing, and just some great events too at Top Golf. And I attended the event over at MGM, and it really, really was fantastic. Well, here's a really important question for you. How's the golf game? How'd you play?
Well, actually, I don't play in the event. I get a chance to kind of meet everyone and thank them for coming and cheer their good shots and kind of hoot on their bad shots. So
who's the ringer?
Fun couple days.
Who's the ringer, Coach?
There's a lot of good players. You had a couple of 6 under par,
Wow.
66s in Southern Highlands. One at Shadow Creek. Obviously, we get those 2 golf courses involved. It's amazing how much people enjoy playing those courses and how good they really are.
Yeah, fantastic job everyone did, as I mentioned. I got to ask you a few basketball questions, Coach, if you don't mind. I'm sure no one ever asked you basketball questions before. But,
no problem.
You did such a phenomenal job here in Las Vegas. It seems like you win everywhere you go, right? And you're such a modest guy. Your family, is just full of class, and you always take the high road. But I have to ask you this question. Ever since you left UNLV, let's be honest here, the program has been in decline for whatever reason. And obviously you have a job to do over there at Oklahoma, but are you surprised with where the UNLV program is right now as compared to where it was when you left it in great shape?
It's a fine line. Really, it appears the program, again, I'm just looking at it from outside, they've been close a couple times getting over the hump, and obviously it depends on other teams in the league too, how good they are. But yeah, it's been close. I think Coach Menzies will get it going. Again, just need that good spark, need that good thing to happen, and all of a sudden you start getting that extra recruit, and good things do happen.
I remember, when you were winning Mountain West Conference championships here, and that conference when you were here, it was really good. Do you feel like when BYU left the conference, that kind of just changed everything for the Mountain West? Because I kind of get that sense.
BYU is a strong, member, no question about that. They had a couple of good additions, also, but it seems like it's a little different note there for several years. We had 4 teams participate in the NCAA tournament, so the conference was really strong there during the stretch, and again, it's close to that again.
One more basketball question for you. It seems like wherever you go, you're able to turn a program around almost immediately, make them competitive, and then a top 25 team in the country. I don't think there's anyone that is better at it than you. I'll ask it this way: how are you able to do it? Every college you go to, you win and you turn a program around like you did here at UNLV. You're doing a phenomenal job at Oklahoma. Why is it that you are so good at this and so many other coaches have the difficulty of doing what you've been able to accomplish?
Well, we've had good people. I mean, obviously the other coaches on the staff are totally committed, totally bought in. I think I know our guys are always about the players. Players understand that. I think after they understand that and trust that we really are all about them. But it's no different than whether it be a family or a business. Just investing in your people and trusting your people and promoting confidence. Trying to promote a positive culture all the time and hopefully create an atmosphere in which guys love being around and love working at it.
No question.
Lon, I got a question for you. How do you think Trae Young's game projects to the NBA?
Trae is super skilled. Yeah, and again, a lot of it's going to depend on, the quality of team that he goes to. All young players would like to go to a playoff contender. Sometimes when you're picked high, like Trae's going to be in the draft, you don't always have that luxury, although because of trades, you never know that for sure. But Trae will do well. Important that he's with a group of guys that are going to help him make that transition like any rookie.
Mm-hmm. Well, Coach, I just want to say thank you for your time and congratulations on another fantastic week here in Vegas, Coaches versus Cancer. And I look forward to your son, Kevin, by the way, being a fantastic head coach somewhere. I know he's going to follow in your footsteps. I know he's your assistant over there now. And that 1 year he played here was a memorable year for UNLV basketball. And we just hope continued success for you and the Oklahoma program and continue the great work. And we really do appreciate your time.
Well, thank you. It's great having Kev on staff. And as always, Barb and I love our time in Vegas, and it's always a bonus when we get a chance to come back and spend time. So great people there, and we appreciate the promotion that you're giving the Coaches versus Cancer event. Thanks very much.
You bet. Anytime, Coach. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lon.
All right. There you go. Head coach of Oklahoma, Lon Kruger, joining us on the KDWN hotline, and just what a class act.
Just a genuinely good guy.
And a fantastic basketball coach. And I'm going to tell you something right now, and then we'll move on. And I'm just going to say it right now. UNLV made a very, very costly, big mistake not paying him a little bit more money to stay here. They made a bad decision, and they made it worse by hiring a guy, and all due respect to Dave Rice, but he had never been a head coach before. Didn't get the job done. And Lon Kruger, a classy guy, and I hope Marvin Menzies does get it done here. But I'm going to tell you something. He's on the hot seat. I'm just going to say it right now. The fans are not happy. When Lon Kruger was coaching here, there were 12,000, 13,000 people in the Thomas and Mack. Now you're lucky to get 2,000 or 3,000 people. The program is a disaster. The last 2 years have been atrocious. No excuse for where the program finished in the Mountain West Conference this past year with the talent that Marvin Menzies has. And I'm telling you right now, if he doesn't get it done this next year, there's going to be a lot of people asking some questions because there are a lot of capable coaches. Maybe not coaches to the extent of how great of a coach Lon Kruger is, but there are a lot of guys out there that are capable, and Marvin Menzies absolutely 100%, no more time, has to get it done in this third year, or I think you can raise the question, should he return for a fourth year?
Well, and it's a real fertile ground here for recruiting with Fond du Lac close by and with
exactly
with the city just growing in population constantly. And having a guy like Brandon McCoy last year, but not being good, period, defensively it's pretty troubling. So that my question is why is the defense so bad?
Well, I'm friends with a lot of college coaches, as you know, and I'm not going to name who this gentleman is, but a very high-profile coach. I said, what do you think about this UNLV basketball team? And he looks at me and he goes, it seems like the coaching staff just throws the ball out there and just let them play. They're not disciplined, not good defensively, terrible defensively, actually. But you can't make the argument that it's talent because it's not talent. Look, I'll give Marvin Menzies a pass for that first year. He had to put a team together in like a month and a half or something like that. So last year they had the talent. They had a good point guard in Johnson, who I believe was second or third in the country in assists at one point in his career. And you had, as you mentioned, McCoy, who will probably be an NBA player. I don't think he's ready yet, but he'll be tremendous talent. No doubt about that. You got Houston, a power forward, who I think is a professional player. You had talent, and the Mountain West is garbage. Okay, not good. I understand Nevada made it to the Sweet 16. I get that. And San Diego State made it to the tournament. I get that as well. Okay, those are two pretty good basketball teams, okay? But the rest of the conference just sucks. Let's just call it what it is. The Mountain West is not very good, and they don't get respect, and there's a reason for that. And, you know, if anyone wants to call in and disagree with me on this one, go right ahead, 257-5396. Denise, do I have the number right? Did I memorize the number? Did I do the right thing? I think I did. Okay, good. She's giving me the thumbs up. It's incredible. I did something right today. 257-5396 is the number to call if you'd like to be a part of the program. We just had Lon Kruger on. We talked a little bit of World Series of Poker. We talked a little Las Vegas Knights. Let's get to the NBA. And I'm so tired. Let me give a score first, okay? 43-39 is the halftime score. The Celtics are up by 4 at the half. Talk about a dead under. If you bet the under, I loved it. Oh, watch, it'll probably go to triple overtime. But 43-39, very low-scoring game. LeBron had pretty good first half, 17 points. I think the Celtics would take that. If you said, hey, LeBron's going to score 17 in the first half, I think the Celtics would take that. He took 12 shots. He made 6, 1 for 4 from 3. So not shooting the ball particularly great, but he does have 10 rebounds. So a pretty good first half for LeBron James. Can we just stop this argument right now when people say LeBron is right there with Michael Jordan? Maybe you disagree with me with this, JD, but, I mean, to me, LeBron isn't worthy of being in the same sentence as Michael Jordan.
He's doing some pretty incredible things, but Jordan does have 6 rings. This team that LeBron has, it's not ragtag, but it's not exactly the team he was hoping to have. And he had 46, 11, and 9 last game. Those stats, you can't deny those stats. I mean, I watched that game, and those last 2 threes he made after he went down when his own player fell on his leg. He made those 2 threes falling out of bounds. I mean, those were big time serious shots. Those are GOAT type of shots. So at this point, he's definitely in a top 3 conversation as far as I'm concerned. And if he makes the finals, just kind of like the Stanley Cup prediction with Las Vegas winning the Stanley Cup that we talked about earlier, if he makes the finals and he beats the Warriors with this team, he's probably my GOAT.
Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of people feel the way you feel. Number one, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think they're beating Golden State. That's if Golden State wins tomorrow, by the way. That's not a given. Game 7 in the Western Conference Finals tomorrow. Okay, here's my problem, I guess, with this debate is that, and I'm not saying you're wrong, it's very subjective, but in the 80s, as you know, the game was a lot more physical. Mm-hmm. And LeBron, everyone calls him this physical specimen. I wonder how he would score because he's never been a good shooter. He's gotten a lot better, but he's never been a great shooter from the outside. I'll take Larry Bird's outside shot in his prime over LeBron James, no doubt about that.
Of course.
LeBron, to me, the first 10 years of his career, never felt comfortable with the basketball with 1 possession left in the game, with his team down by 1. He never was that guy. Now he is. He seems a lot more comfortable in that role. So that's another thing I would say. The game was so different in the 80s, and that's why, to me, it's not even close to Michael Jordan. In fact, I'll take Kobe Bryant right now over LeBron. And a lot of people would disagree with me on that. I'll take Kareem Abdul-Jabbar over LeBron. I'll take Magic Johnson over LeBron. And people say, well, you can't compare eras. Well, yeah, you can. The 80s, it was a lot more difficult to score. You think Bill Laimbeer, our WNBA Aces coach, I think they're playing right now in their season opener, by the way. We don't do too much WNBA here, but I thought I would throw that in there. Bill Laimbeer, you think he would allow LeBron to take the ball to the basket? What would happen if LeBron was playing in the 80s? Okay, Larry Bird had to play through that era. Michael Jordan had to play through that era. Even part of Kobe Bryant's career, much more physical than the game in the NBA today. Oh, and by the way, you don't go to another team and you don't say, well, I'm taking my talents to, Miami. Hey, let me give Chris Bosh a call. Let's get this guy. Let's get that guy. It didn't work like that in the 80s because it wasn't about the money, okay? It was about winning and championships. And in no way, shape, or form am I saying that LeBron does not want to win. The guy brought a championship to Cleveland, which is incredible. He's a top 10 player. No doubt about that. But the fact lies that the game is just nowhere near as physical as it once was. And LeBron, single-handedly, willingly, yeah, he can score 50 in a playoff game, but I think if Jordan and Bird wanted to do that on any given day, they could do that, and they did do that. But to them, winning was more important than scoring 50.
I wish LeBron didn't flop as much as he does.
He's such a crybaby.
To induce these calls. I wish he didn't do that. But as far as the Bill Laimbeer stopping him. I mean, MJ was 6'6", 215. LeBron is every bit of 6'8", 255 pounds. And if he ran into Bill Laimbeer, he would knock Bill Laimbeer over.
You think so?
MJ wasn't doing that. Absolutely. LeBron is an absolute monster. He's probably the best athlete that I've seen since Bo Jackson as far as an actual physical specimen. He's got a 43-inch vertical leap. He's got a 7-foot wingspan. I mean, if you listen to his interviews, they actually talk about his memory. He can memorize plays from 10 years ago. Like the exact moment that took place 10 years ago, and he uses that in current games against opponents that he played 10. I mean, he's just an unbelievable athlete, and I do think that LeBron going down the lane 20 years ago, 25 years ago, would have absolutely knocked over Bill Laimbeer. I
think he would have had to have worked a lot harder on his outside shot because I think he would have had to have relied on that a lot more in the 80s. So we're talking NBA, Western Conference, and Eastern Conference Finals. The Celtics, Cleveland playing right now. It's at the half, and we're talking with JD. And there's a lot of other stuff going on. As I mentioned, it's not just the NBA Finals. We got the Stanley Cup Finals, which is tomorrow in Las Vegas, the Knights with home ice. What do you guys think out there? Do you guys think that the Knights are going to take game one? How do you see this Stanley Cup Finals playing out? We'll give our predictions here in a second, but I want to hear your predictions. I'll give out the number 257-5396. Again, the number to call in if you want to give us your prediction on the Vegas Golden Knights. Maybe you can give us a Vegas Golden Knights story. Are you going to the Stanley Cup Finals tomorrow? Are you going to a watch party? Where are you watching the game? I know a lot of people, a lot of my friends are, if they can't afford to go to the game, and God, I don't blame you, $1,000 if you're lucky for a seat. But a lot of people are watching the game all over Las Vegas. There's parties everywhere. Where are you going to be watching the game tomorrow? What do you think is going to happen? Give us a call. Again, the number 257-5396. Again, that is 257-5396. Give us a call. What do you think about the Vegas Golden Knights tomorrow in the Stanley Cup Finals? And again, I have to pinch myself every single time I say that. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe that, the cup could be raised here. I mean, just the fact that they made the playoffs is unsurmountable. It's just ridiculous. But you've never been to the Stanley Cup Finals before, have you?
No, I never have.
So I went to a couple of the Kings Stanley Cup Finals in L.A., went to some overtime games. That was a thrill. But I got to tell you, the T-Mobile Arena for a Vegas Golden Knights game, it is like a 180 compared to the Kings. It is so much louder in this building, and there's so many things. This is so hard to not root for this team. How could you not root for the Knights? They honor a hero or someone that was maybe injured in the October 1st shooting. They do it every game. Everyone stands on their feet. And the great thing I love about the NHL is even the away team, they kind of tap their sticks and honor the people. You don't really see that in any other sport. And like I said, it's a standing ovation. The way the community has come together. Did you see the story that I was reading about how Las Vegas wants no capital letters in any of their night signs because of the Capitals. I just think that is absolutely hilarious. So all these signs that are all over the place that say "Go Knights, go!" No Capitals, no Capitals.
It's all lowercase.
No, it's hilarious, and the signs are all over town, man.
Right.
I cannot imagine what Toshiba Plaza is going to be like. There's parties everywhere.
Just a Vegas atmosphere. I'm excited for it. Vegas atmosphere inside a Vegas stadium. I'm looking forward to it.
It's absolutely incredible. And there's a lot of people that didn't give this team much credit even when they got into the playoffs, including some ESPN people like Barry Melrose. There's a lot of people that just did not give this team due credit. And isn't it about time that the naysayers say, yeah, that this team's really good. They've been the most consistent team in the NHL. They've been the best team in the NHL. So give me your prediction. I'm going to put you on the spot right now, not just for Game 1. I want your prediction for Game 1, but I also want your prediction for the series. Who do you think is going to win tomorrow? How do you see it playing out? And by the way, the number to call in if you want to get in on this, what's going to happen in this Stanley Cup Finals between the Knights and the Capitals, 257-5396. Again, that number, 257-5396. If you'd like to be a part of the program. JD, what do you see happening?
It's been kind of a contrarian day for me. Like I said, I think if Fleury plays really, really well, which I don't think he's going to play that well. I have the Capitals tomorrow, and I like the Capitals to win the series.
Really? A lot of people are going to be angry at you for saying that.
Probably.
All right. Well, hey, I disagree with you. Here's why. And I hope you're wrong, by the way. Jerk. I hope you're wrong. First of all, Marc-Andre Fleury has played the best hockey of his career. We both can agree with that. I haven't seen anything to show me that he's not going to play well tomorrow or he's not going to play well in this series. He is on fire. He is a brick wall. He has all the confidence in the world. He loves playing here. He's happy. I think he has a monster series, and I think he is the leader and the MVP of the Stanley Cup Finals. Okay, I'll start off by saying that. So obviously you know who I'm picking. I'm picking the Knights. I think the Knights are going to win the Stanley Cup at home. I think that it's either going to be in 5 or 7. I'm going to pick the Knights in 5. I think they win tomorrow. I think they win big tomorrow. I think they win Wednesday. I think they take a commanding 2-0 lead. I'm going to give the Washington Capitals one game on the road, and I think the Knights get it done. I think they absolutely get it done here, and I think they win at home, and I think they win this series 5, maybe 7. I really think they win it in 5. And like I said, Capitals are a really good team, but here's why I like the Knights against this team, besides Marc-Andre Fleury. The Washington Capitals are a better version of the LA Kings. And what I mean by that is they're a very physical team. They play a very physical brand of hockey. But that doesn't bother the Knights because they destroyed the Kings, and the Kings tried to do that. Didn't work. Okay? Now, the Capitals are better. They're deeper. Better team. Second best goalie in the NHL. And you got Alex Ovechkin, who's a future Hall of Famer, one of the best to ever play the game. But they're nowhere near as fast as the Knights either. And I think the Knights have to take advantage of that. And I can tell you what the Capitals are going to try to do. They're going to do what the Kings tried to do. They're going to come in here. They're going to try to push them around. They're going to try to mess with Fleury in front of the net. They're going to be physical. There's probably going to be a lot of penalties tomorrow. But if the Knights just stick to their game plan, and it's what Gallant has said all year, we're just going to stick to our game plan. We're going to keep doing what we do. We're going to battle. We're going to work hard. We're going to cycle the puck. We're going to use our speed to our advantage, and we're not going to get involved in these, drop the gloves sort of situations. Although I'd like to see Reeves drop the gloves once in a while. He's a big boy, but nobody wants to get in on him. But that's the way I see this series going. And I understand what you're saying. Like, when is Fleury going to have a bad game? When is Fleury going to have a bad series? He might have a bad game tomorrow. I just don't see it happening. I just don't see it, JD. And I hope I'm right, and I hope you're wrong. Because as a member of the media, they say, well, you shouldn't root for a team. You got to cover the team. Well, screw you. I'm rooting for the Las Vegas Golden Knights. I want them to win, okay? This is a personal story for me, and it's a personal story to really anybody who's followed this team all year long. I could have been at that concert on October 1st. I was invited to go to that show. Instead, I went to a Vegas Golden Knights preseason game. Could have saved my life. So you're damn right. This is a personal story to me. And the success that this team has had is only going to be better for when the Raiders come here, or if we get an NBA franchise or a Major League Baseball franchise. You've said you think we get a Major League Baseball franchise. You've said that, right?
I've said that a couple of times. I think that the Oakland A's end up here in the next 5 years.
Well, their stadium's just atrocious, just the worst. That is the worst stadium on the planet, by the way, and it's the crummy Oracle Arena. You walk outside Oracle too. It's just. I would not want anybody walking around that area by themselves. Let's just put it that way. It's not a good area where the A's play. It's terrible. So you got to have an arena for it. They're building one where the Raiders are going to be playing very soon. It's incredible, and I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility to think that in the next 5 years we're going to have all 4 sports major franchises. We'll have an NBA team and a Major League Baseball team. Look at the success that the Vegas Golden Knights have had. It's incredible. It's unbelievable. It's unprecedented.
Yeah, the Knights doing what they've done, and especially just the amount of fan support that the Knights have had and the tickets that have sold. It shows potential teams coming here that the fan base is gonna take that team as their own. I mean, we're gonna support that team fully. You know, just because I think that the Capitals win doesn't mean I don't hope the Knights win. I do hope the Knights win, but and again, I'm not a big hockey guy. I never have been. I'm more of a baseball, basketball, football guy. But I do think that we get the Pelicans and the NBA come here, and then we get the Oakland A's in the next, we'll say 3 to 5 years.
Strong possibility, no doubt about it. We only have a couple more minutes left here. Talk to me a little bit about the Wager Fund, what you guys are up to with this company. And for listeners out there, the first time they've heard about the Wager Fund, what information can you give us about this brand new company and this new law that was passed in Nevada?
Okay, so 2 years ago, a law was passed called Nevada 443, which allows entity wagering to take place. So I can start an LLC, and I can raise money from inside the state, outside the country, and I can bet it on the open market here like a hedge fund, and that's exactly what the Wager Fund does.
So basically, it works just like a stock.
Exactly.
Only
like a stock.
Your sports wagering.
It's sports wagering with significantly higher returns. Your average sports odds are minus 110. So if you win 5 or 6 games in a row at minus 110, do the math.
Mm-hmm. How do you get in touch with the Wager Fund? The website?
Yeah. Info@thewagerfund.com via email, or just go to www.thewagerfund.com.
Now, you're not putting hockey picks up there. Is that fair to say?
That is extremely fair to say.
You are a Major League Baseball expert. There's no doubt about that. Hockey's a difficult sport to bet on, but it's an enjoyable sport to bet on. Will you be placing a wager personally, since you will be attending? Can I say that you will be attending as the Stanley Cup Finals? Will you be placing a wager on the hockey game tomorrow night?
Yeah.
You're honest.
I'm gonna make my second ever. I took the under in a Knights game earlier in the year, and it won. I think it was 5.5, and they scored like 3. I'll be placing my second ever hockey wager tomorrow, and it'll probably be on the Washington Capitals.
Being the degenerate that I am, I could say 100% I will be placing a wager on the game tomorrow. Hey, we're going to have some fun next week. So we got a big fight coming to town in a few weeks, Crawford Horn. And looks like we're going to be getting those guys on the show next week. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
That'll be great.
Yeah,
Omaha.
Talk a little boxing. We will continue the Vegas Golden Knights. By the way, follow us on Twitter @TheVegasTake. Check out the website, thewagerfund.com, for more information on that. My thanks to Norman Chad and Lon Kruger for joining us. And if you missed any of the show, we will be putting it back up on the Vegas Take. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. We appreciate it, JD. This is a fun show. And we got to catch the second half of this Boston Celtics Cleveland Cavaliers game. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Thank you, Denise. Appreciate it. And we'll catch you guys next week.